can!
It's over!
He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net.
Nice one.
Straight down the middle. So a good performance from both teams.
Hi, you're watching Firstpost. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get started. On the show today, IPL frenzy is already here. The tournament's a while away, true, but mind games are on aplenty. The biggest between Chennai Super Kings and Rajasthan Royals. How will the Sanju Samson swap play out? Details ahead. US President Donald Trump is booed again, this time at an NFL game. The same team stadium that he wants to rename with his own. Is American sports' biggest challenge today to tackle the country's own president's whims and fancies. And the story of Interlagos isn't who finished first, it's Max Verstappen. The man who started the race from the pit lane outraces most for a podium finish. Can we expect another race to the finish line for the championship? But first, Sports 360. Starting with tennis, former world number one Novak Djokovic has pulled out of the ATP Tour Finals for the second consecutive year. He's citing injury. Just recently, Djokovic scripted history by winning the Hellenic Championship in Greece. A marathon three-set final that saw him win a record 72nd title on hard court. On to football, Manchester City outclassed Liverpool 3-0 to inch closer to Arsenal in the Premier League points table. Erling Haaland scored the opener. Jeremy Doku gave the final blow to the Reds. With 22 points, City are only 4 points behind Arsenal. Indian Super League is once again in a limbo after getting the clearance from the Supreme Court. The All Indian Football Federation has failed to find bidders for a commercial partnership. Legendary club Mohun Bagan have suspended their operations. Their city rivals East Bengal have urged India's cricket board BCCI to help Indian football. In cricket, Meghalaya batter Akash Kumar Chaudhary became the first to hit 8 consecutive sixes, this during a Ranji Trophy match against Arunachal Pradesh. He also raced to an 11-ball 50, the fastest half-century in the format in domestic cricket. And summing it up with Chess World Cup, India suffered multiple heartbreaks at the event. Grandmaster Vidit Gujarati has been knocked out after losing to Sam Shankland in third round. Before Vidit, world chess champion Gukesh Domraju lost to Frederick Swan, ending his journey in the same third round. The IPL, Indian Premier League, is a while away, but the end of a year, these last few months, always means backroom hustle, backroom battles. Translation, the franchise management's match days. That's when all of these months are. When they get very busy, and the busiest two franchises right now, at least as far as the headline grabbers go, are Rajasthan Royals and Chennai Super Kings, who are in a trade-off tussle, and that's what's creating a lot of buzz. Chennai wants Sanju Samson, and Rajasthan are trying to get the best deal they possibly can in return. And with the deadline just days away, where can this all head? What are the possibilities, and what's really going on behind the scenes? Now, this phase towards the end of the year is when a lot of calculations really take place as far as the Indian Premier League goes. Which players can they acquire in a trade-off? Who should they retain? Who should they let go of? A lot of pre-gaming goes in these months leading up to the mini auction. This phase is critical because many of the decisions taken during this time here is what could make or break a team's campaign. It could help a franchise have a memorable season or the worst ever. So the biggest trade-off that we are witnessing is this one here. The man on your screen, Sanju Samson, wearing yellow. That's the possibility now, shedding that pink that he's held so close to his heart all these years. So what's at stake? On one hand, you have a heavyweight club that's sitting on past laurels and fighting to carry forward that legacy. On the other, a team that could punch up. They did so long ago, but seem to have forgotten how to do so now. I'll get into the details for this one. Sanju Samson, a wicket-keeper bat, has been around the Indian national side. The biggest example of someone with a lot of flair, a lot of potential, inspirational ethics, but just not making it to the top as consistently as he would have liked to. Let's look at why Chennai wants him bad. The answer is very simple. You need someone who can carry the momentum forward from where MSD leaves it. So, someone who has to be electrifying behind the stumps, has to have a bat of lead that can break any slog over bowler and make a flourish of a finish, a tactical mind that can map every move behind the wickets, and of course, a heart of gold. And Sanju Samson is a perfect fit when you look at these attributes, because that's pretty much a like for MSD. Plus the South Indian roots is just the added bonus here. His Tamil is flawless and I can certify that. MSD may well be there next season. That's what we are hearing from the CEO himself. But how many of those matches will see him walk out with that swagger that gets the crowd all crazy? That is anybody's guess. And chances, though, are slim, just going by the surgery that he's had and how he's had to fight his way back after it. So safe to say, Chennai will be desperate to get this in the bag. So far, it's always been about what can Rajasthan get in return with the other franchisees, but Sanju Samson is key. Chennai know how to make this happen, and for that, they have to shell out big. Let's look at Rajasthan. Here's a side that has been the nice guys for far too long. They have flattered every season only to end up deceiving. And for them, last season felt like it was that make or break year, because look at all that has transpired in the last few months. Sanju said he wants out. Rahul Dravid not there in the mix. Their CEO Jake Lush McCrum is out of the picture. It's clearly a squad that's transitioning, and they want to be something else, something bigger, something better. And clearly they want their pound of flesh if they are letting go of Sanju Samson. Now talks say Ravindra Jadeja has been offered up for the trade-off. But Rajasthan want more. They know that they're losing their all-time skipper, their biggest skipper yet. So sweeter the deal, the better it is. But before we even look at that, let this thought sink in. The possibility of a Ravindra Jadeja changing sides, changing colors. A player who has over the years just become more symbolic of the Chennai franchise. The last time Chennai won the IPL, this man made it possible in a final that lasted across 2 days in Ahmedabad, with pictures that fans will not forget for years to come. Jadeja's presence has been crucial. He's been part of winning campaigns, and they even built a season just around him as captain. One that was rather tragic, though, with his captaincy stint being cut short. So the fact that this has even reached the table means only one thing. It had to have involved MSD and the Chennai think tank having this discussion with the man himself, Jadeja, and the latter agreeing. But here's the other side of this. Jadeja would essentially be going back home. The only time Rajasthan Royals lifted the IPL was when Jadeja was in the ranks. So this is poetic in some ways as a swap that it can get. Even though his missing Instagram account seems to be sparking off a chain reaction, fans, websites, media, they've all been speculating over his Instagram profile going AWOL and disappearing. Now, it could just be a technical glitch for all you know, but the timing is rather suspect. Now we come to the additional player here whom Chennai may have to forego for this swap to happen. There's a lot of conversations that have taken place around this, with Chennai wanting to add Sam Curran to the mix. But Rajasthan are keen on Matisha Patirana, and that's something Chennai will not want to do. This is a Sri Lankan player the franchise has groomed. But that's the beauty of a league such as the Indian Premier League, where even the biggest legacies face the ultimate test. A franchise will lose a captain they've had and they've groomed for years. One who wants to don the yellow and not go anywhere else, no other franchise. So how far will Chennai go to make it a swap that Rajasthan can be satisfied with is the question. In the United States, there's politics, there's sports, and then there is Donald Trump, trying to always make a concoction of the two. And of course, nothing beats his unmistakable stamp on it all. From the Oval Office to the NFL sidelines, Trump wants his name everywhere. Reports say the US president wants the new Washington Commanders Stadium to bear his name. Only problem, the fans aren't buying it. They don't want it because the same fans booed him and loudly during his rare NFL visit, a moment that perfectly sums up Trump's ugly love-hate relationship with the American sporting landscape currently. Now, ever since he clawed his way back into the White House, Trump's obsession with sports has been on full display right through. But let's be honest here. He's not your typical sports lover. He's a man who treats every game like a boardroom, every team like a business proposition, and every athlete like a pawn. First came his ban on transgender women in female sports. Then he lashed out at those who refused to toe the line here. Athletes, journalists, teams, mayors. He spared none. He followed it up by threatening to move the FIFA World Cup matches away from Boston. Why? Because he thought the mayor wasn't doing the job properly. Now he's at it again, trying to strong-arm Washington Commanders into naming their new domed stadium after him. Now, two things stand out here. It was the president who made it possible, and it's what the president wants. Notice the pattern here. It's never about the sport. It's always about Donald Trump. But the fans are done with the Trump show. At the Commanders' home game against the Detroit Lions, when Trump appeared on the big screen, the boos were deafening. It was the first time a sitting US president attended an NFL regular season game in almost 50 years. That's incredible, sure, but the crowd made sure he didn't feel welcome. And this isn't new. Trump has been booed at the US Open, at the Super Bowl, at the FIFA Club World Cup, everywhere he goes. It's the same chorus: rejection. Now, this matter here is personal for Commanders fans because earlier this year, Trump told the franchise to drop their new name and bring back their old one, the Washington Redskins, a name scrapped in 2020 after sponsors and Native American groups called it racist. But Trump didn't care. He even threatened them.
If they don't change the name back to the original Washington Redskins and get rid of the ridiculous moniker, Washington Commanders, I will make a deal for them to build a stadium in Washington.
So there it is, Trump's version of leadership. Not persuasion, no negotiations, but getting his way done. Now, this is the same playbook he's used everywhere. Use power, demand loyalty, and punish defiance. And his sports record reflects that perfectly. When athletes knelt during the national anthem during his previous term, he called them traitors. When the NBA spoke up for racial justice, he told them to shut up and play. For Trump, sport isn't about fair play, it's about power play. The 2026 FIFA World Cup, the 2028 LA Olympics, he's already staking his claim.
You know what? I got the Olympics, I got the World Cup, and I got the 250th. Look at the way this works out.
Classic Trump, rewriting history with himself as the headlining act. Why else would he replace Barack Obama's official White House portrait with his own? But here's the thing, you can remodel the White House all you like and fill it with gold all you want. You can force your name on stadiums and teams, sure, but you can't force change, and you have to earn your place with performance, not power, with legacy and not being loud, because fans don't cheer for the man who demands applause, they cheer for the ones who earn it. And threatening teams, forcing his approach isn't how you exactly do that. Maybe Trump needs to be reminded of just that. They say nobody remembers who finishes second, but at the Brazil Grand Prix this weekend, that saying was completely turned on its head because Formula One world isn't talking about the winner, McLaren's Lando Norris. It's talking about the man who finished third, Red Bull's Max Verstappen. From the pit lane to the podium, this wasn't just a comeback drive, this was a statement that champions don't fade, they fight. And Sao Paulo once again proved you can never, ever count Max Verstappen out. Formula One is built on speed, strategy, and split-second decisions. So when a driver overtakes or fights back, it's impressive, but not entirely shocking. But what Verstappen did in Brazil was extraordinary. Both Red Bull cars were knocked out in Qualifier 1 the first time in 19 years. It was a nightmare Saturday, and when Verstappen woke up on Sunday, even he didn't see a podium in his stars.
To be on the podium from the pit lane, I didn't expect that at all. An incredible result for us. Very happy with that and just very proud of everyone within the team as well.
But that's where his championship DNA kicked in. Calm, composed, calculated. He sliced through traffic like a surgeon, turned chaos into control, and reminded the world this is how champions function. Let's not forget last 2 seasons haven't been easy on Max or Red Bull. The Christian Horner controversy early last year threw the team into chaos. Rumors of Verstappen leaving the team dominated headlines for months. Sponsors questioned loyalty. The media questioned his temperament. And yet, amidst all of that storm, he still won the 2024 Drivers' Championship. This year too, Red Bull has been rocked. Horner exits mid-season, internal power struggles resurfaced, and suddenly the once unstoppable Verstappen was out of the title race. That's what everyone's been saying, but the last few races, everything's changed. With 3 to go, 83 points up for grabs, Verstappen now sits 49 points behind Lando Norris. Yes, it's a mountain, but if there's one thing Max has shown us, it's that he doesn't fear mountains, he scales them. Because if he can rise from pit lane to podium in Interlagos, he can rise from deficit to dominance in the championship too. That's what he will believe. His partner Kelly Piquet summed it up perfectly on social media. In fact, Verstappen's will to fight goes beyond the grid. Last year, he took on the FIA itself. When the governing body banned swearing and started monitoring driver language, Verstappen refused to conform. He didn't care about fines, reprimands, or warnings. For him, authenticity mattered more than approval. Sure, critics called it arrogance, but to his fellow drivers, it was refreshing. A champion who spoke his truth and did not spew PR scripted lines. That's the paradox of Verstappen. Rebel on the outside, relentless within. And for the purists, his Brazil Grand Prix performance was more than just a race. It was a callback to Formula One's golden age. Back in 1991, a certain Ayrton Senna, Brazil's own icon, won his first home Grand Prix under unimaginable pain. His gearbox jammed, he was stuck in 6th gear for the final laps, muscle cramps tore through his body, he could barely steer. But he crossed the line victorious. Senna couldn't even lift the trophy that day, but he somehow managed to do it. 34 years on, another driver from a different nation, a different generation at Brazil reminded us of that same spirit. Verstappen didn't win the trophy in Interlagos, but he did win something more valuable: hearts, respect, and admiration. Because this wasn't about Red Bull's dominance, it was about machinery. It wasn't about machinery or strategy or luck. It was about mindset. A mindset that says, even when the odds are against me, I'm still going to race you. I'm still going to fight you, and I'm still going to make you remember my name. That's why Max Verstappen is more than just a driver. He's a phenomenon. From the pit lane to P3, From chaos to calm, he reminded us why Formula One will always need drivers just like him. Drivers who don't follow trends, they set them. Drivers who don't give up no matter what. And that's the real victory. In Brazil, Lando Norris may have taken home the trophy, but Max Verstappen took home the story. Because in Formula One, that's one legacy that will last forever. Time for Last Serve. Saudi Arabia is experiencing a new wave. Dozens of women are practicing belly dancing in secret. The art form is gaining traction in the country with sites on multinational events. But the artists are still hiding their identities because of the taboo surrounding the art. That wraps it up here on First Sports. I'll of course see you again tomorrow. Till then, do take care.